Aristaeus was a figure in Greek mythology, known as a minor god or hero associated with various agricultural and pastoral practices. He was credited with teaching humanity useful arts and techniques, particularly related to rural life. Some of his key associations include beekeeping. Aristaeus was considered the god of beekeeping and honey making. He was said to have introduced the practice to humans. Cheese making. He was also credited with teaching the art of making cheese. Olive cultivation. Aristaeus was linked to the cultivation of olive trees and the production of olive oil. Hunting and herding. As a pastoral deity, he was associated with herding, hunting, and other rural pursuits. Healing and prophecy. In some myths, Aristaeus had connections to healing and prophecy. Aristaeus was the son of the god Apollo and the nymph Cyrene. Myth of the bees. One famous myth involves the death of Aristaeus's bees, leading him to consult the sea nymphs, his mother's kin, for guidance. He was instructed to perform rituals to appease the gods, which eventually restored his bees and established him as a patron of apiculture. Aristaeus was often seen as a cultural hero who bridged the gap between humanity and nature, teaching essential survival and cultivation skills. The rustic deity, Aristaeus, was not a mighty warrior or a cunning trickster like other Greek gods. Instead, he was a humble deity tied to the pastoral and agricultural life of ancient Greece. His divine parents were Apollo, god of the sun, music, and prophecy, and Cyrene, a mortal nymph known for her strength and independence. Their union created Aristaeus, a figure destined to guide humanity in the ways of living in harmony with nature. The birth of Aristaeus. Aristaeus's birth was itself steeped in myth. Apollo, captivated by Cyrene's beauty and bravery, abducted her after watching her wrestle a lion barehanded. He carried her to a distant land in Libya, where she gave birth to their son. To ensure Aristaeus had the best upbringing, Apollo entrusted him to the care of the Muses and the wise centaur Chiron. From the Muses, Aristaeus learned the arts of poetry, music, and harmony. Chiron, the immortal healer and teacher, instructed him in the secrets of the natural world: beekeeping, animal husbandry, cheese-making, and the cultivation of olive trees. These skills would become his gifts to humanity, elevating him from a mortal-like being to a revered, rustic god. The pursuit of Eurydice. Though a protector of nature, Aristaeus's most infamous tale ties him to tragedy. One fateful day, as he wandered through a meadow, he came upon Eurydice, the nymph-like wife of the musician Orpheus. Struck by her beauty, Aristaeus was overcome with desire. He chased her through the fields, his pursuit driven by a moment of selfish impulse. Eurydice, frightened and desperate to escape, ran through the tall grass. In her flight, she stepped on a hidden snake, and its venomous bite claimed her life. Her death plunged Orpheus into despair, leading him to venture into the underworld to retrieve her soul, which was a quest that would end in heartbreak. Unknown to Aristaeus, the Naiads, protectors of the rivers and streams, were enraged by Eurydice's death. They blamed Aristaeus for causing the tragic chain of events and vowed to punish him. The death of the bees. Soon after Eurydice's death, disaster struck Aristaeus's hives. One by one, his bees began to die mysteriously. Despite his efforts to save them, the plague spread until every hive lay silent. This was not just a personal loss, it threatened his identity and livelihood. Distraught, Aristaeus sought the counsel of his mother, Cyrene. She advised him to descend into her watery realm, hidden beneath the waves of a sacred river. There, she told him, he could seek the wisdom of Proteus, the shape-shifting sea god who held the secrets of the natural order. The test of Proteus. Finding Proteus was no small feat. Cyrene guided Aristaeus to a quiet shore where the god often rested. She warned him that Proteus would try to evade questioning by transforming into various shapes. To succeed, Aristaeus would need to hold fast to him, no matter how terrifying or strange his forms became. When Proteus appeared, Aristaeus sprang from hiding and seized him. The sea god immediately began to shift, first into a roaring lion, then a slithering serpent, a monstrous boar, and even a raging torrent of water. But Aristaeus, fortified by his mother's guidance, refused to let go. At last, Proteus relented and resumed his true form. Satisfied with Aristaeus's perseverance, Proteus revealed the source of his suffering, the Naiad's curse, born of Eurydice's untimely death. To lift it, Aristaeus would need to make a profound act of atonement. The atonement Proteus instructed Aristaeus to offer a sacred sacrifice to the naiads. He was to slaughter 4 bulls and 4 cows, leaving their bodies in a sacred grove. This act of reverence and submission to the divine forces of nature would restore balance and cleanse him of his guilt. With heavy heart, Aristaeus carried out the ritual. Days later, from the rotting remains of the animals, a miraculous event unfolded. Swarms of bees arose, buzzing with new life. The curse was lifted, and Aristaeus' hives were restored. This renewal symbolized more than just his personal redemption. It represented the cycle of life, death, and rebirth that governs all living things. Though his role in the tragedy of Eurydice haunted him, Aristaeus continued his work, spreading his knowledge across the ancient world. He traveled widely, teaching humans how to care for the land and its creatures. In some accounts, Aristaeus was even credited with founding cities, including the colony of Cyrene in North Africa, named after his mother. There, he was worshipped as a god of agriculture and fertility, ensuring bountiful harvests and harmonious coexistence with nature. The tale of Aristaeus is a rich tapestry of themes: our redemption and atonement. Aristaeus' journey reflects the importance of acknowledging one's mistakes and seeking to make amends. Harmony with nature. As a rustic god, Aristaeus embodies the idea that humans must live in balance with the natural world. Cycles of life and death. The miraculous rebirth of the bees from decay underscores the cyclical nature of existence, which is a core belief in Greek mythology. Though not as famous as Zeus, Athena, or Apollo, Aristaeus occupies a unique place in Greek mythology. His story is a reminder that even minor gods can teach profound lessons about life, humility, and the interconnectedness of all things. Would you like a deeper exploration of his influence on agriculture or his worship in ancient Greece? The tale of Aristaeus, a myth of redemption and renewal. If you found the story of Aristaeus fascinating, the humble god who bridged the gap between humanity and nature, there's so much more to explore in Greek mythology. These lesser-known tales hold lessons that are as relevant today as they were thousands of years ago, teaching us about harmony, redemption, and the cycles of life. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the myth of Aristaeus, don't forget to like this video if you're inspired by his journey of redemption. Subscribe to the channel for more untold stories from mythology, history, and beyond. Comment below what's your favorite forgotten myth, or which story would you like us to cover next? And remember, even the quietest gods can have the loudest lessons to teach. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next adventure through the world of myths and legends.